When it comes to the NES, a lot of people remember the console for some of its notoriously difficult games, like Zelda 2, Battletoads, Castlevania 3, and Contra, just to name a few. There were a ton of extremely difficult games, but not all of the games on the NES were tough as nails, and that's what I want to talk about in today's episode. How's it going, guys? I'm RonMan, and today we're going to be talking about easy NES games in no particular order. Also, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as well as that bell notification so you stay up to date with RonMan Gaming. Obviously based off of the Disney cartoon from the 80s, Ducktales was immensely popular and I grew up playing this game. I rarely beat any game as a kid, but Ducktales is a game that I beat all the time, so what does that tell you about the difficulty? There are 5 short stages, all with plenty of health refills and invincibility coins. If you explore each stage thoroughly, you may come across 2 permanent health upgrades. You can even pay money to refill your health. There are 3 difficulty modes, but even on difficult, the game is not difficult. I'd say the most challenging aspect of Ducktales is mastering the pogo jump, but regardless, if you stink at video games, Ducktales might be a great place to start. A quick honorable mention goes to Ducktales 2. It's a little bit harder than the first game, but overall it's still really easy. Check out Ducktales 2 if you like Ducktales. Kirby is a much longer game than Ducktales, but that doesn't make it any harder. All of Kirby's abilities attribute to making him overpowered. He can copy enemy abilities and fly indefinitely. On top of that, Kirby has a generous health meter, and health restoring items are plentiful. It's not hard to deal with enemies throughout the levels, and bosses too are not much of a challenge. Felix the Cat is a fun action platformer that seems to take inspiration from Super Mario Bros. 3. Throughout the game, you'll find hearts, which gives Felix a power-up. When you power up, you'll get a stronger attack as well as an extra hit point. You can actually power up multiple times, and each time you'll get stronger with even more hit points. On top of that, if you collect hearts beyond the max power-up, instead of upgrading, you'll get a 1-up. Hearts are everywhere, by the way, so that means you'll spend the majority of the game powered up to the max while earning tons of extra lives. The level design, while good, is also pretty simple. I beat this the first time I ever played it. The Little Mermaid is a side-scroller that takes place almost entirely underwater and might actually be the easiest game on this list. The Little Mermaid is obviously based off of the movie, and of course you play as Ariel. There are 5 stages, each with a boss at the end. Throughout the levels, you can find items to increase your power and range. The controls are easy to pick up, and the movie is well represented here, both in terms of music and visuals. Now, I'm pretty sure the target audience for this game was little girls, and as such, this game is not difficult in the slightest. It might be weird to see a full-grown man sit down and play this, but maybe if you have young ones, this might be the best game to start them with. It's fun enough without being too complicated or long. Okay, so bear with me. Willow isn't a breeze. In fact, it's probably the hardest game on this list. I mean, it's an NES RPG after all, but I think it might be the easiest RPG on the system, and thankfully, it's tons of fun. I absolutely love this game, and I did actually beat this one as a kid as well. You play as Willow on your quest to destroy the evil Queen Bavmorda. Willow is a traditional action RPG where you visit different towns, explore different dungeons, collect different equipment, and of course, level up. As you level up, your stats will increase, thus making the game easier. If you get stuck, grind out some levels, or find a better sword or shield. Like I said, it's not as easy as the rest of the games on this list, but I wanted to include an RPG, a genre that isn't often associated with the word easy. But if you want to get into the genre, Willow is a great place to start. It's tons of fun with great music and visuals, and it's really not that hard. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Just to make clear, this isn't necessarily a list of the easiest NES games because, to be honest, I haven't played every single NES game, but these are just games that I've played and I think are really good starting points for exploring the NES library. With that being said, why don't you tell me what you think are some easy NES games? Throw them down in the comments and I'll make sure to check those games out. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.